Okay, good. So, hello and welcome. So, my name is Kate Hudson Hall, and thank you for listening to this channel. Bulimia sucks because it does. So, these are real stories from people who are suffering or have suffered an eating disorder. So, this podcast is about real life stories of eating disorders with victories and challenges. And each episode will include individuals' personal stories of where they are now, what they've learned, and how far they're in their recovery path. So, our guest today is Joelle, and Joelle lives in Brooklyn. Is that right?
No, Long Island.
Oh, Long Island. Look at me from London. What do I know? So,
Yeah.
welcome, Joelle. Thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your story. It's so kind of you.
Of
So, do you
course.
want
I'm
to?
happy to be here.
Oh, great. Thank you. So, do you want to begin by telling me about what sort of eating disorder you have and how old you were, maybe when it started?
Sure. Well, I remember like when I was about maybe like a preteen, like around 12 or 13. I actually learned about eating disorders in health class, and I actually like sat through like a presentation, and it was of these two girls. They are actually like the head founders of like some organization called Project Heal, and they actually like help other people get access to eating disorder treatment if you can't. And I listened to this presentation, and I remember like my mom and I had an argument like the night before this presentation, and I had like I guess I was like curious about eating disorders, and like I didn't know like what they were about and everything. And I listened to the presentation, and I remember like the next day getting so upset at my mom again, and I ended up like purging for the very first time and tried it, and then I got addicted. And then from there on I started like doing it maybe like 10 to 20 times a day, and like I never got like the proper help that I needed actually
So did you,
for
Joelle, did you get any help at that age?
at that age, no, actually. I tried to. I actually remember walking down the halls of my middle school. I was in the 7th grade, and I remember walking down the halls of my middle school, and I thought I was gonna pass out. I remember seeing like gray and black spots, and like it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
I told my guidance counselor at school. I told him everything, and he contacted my mom and dad, and like they just like did not want to hear it. They didn't want to handle it. They even like took me to the doctor, and they were like, oh, like, you know, your vitals are normal, like, you know, you're fine. They suggested like some eating disorder place, but my mom never moved forward with it, because I told her that I wasn't doing it anymore because I didn't want to be the bad kid. But in like in the midst of things, I actually was doing it like secretly when they weren't home and when they
So,
weren't around.
so
So
how old were you at this time?
like 12 or 13.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so then what happened? So you didn't get any help at that age?
I didn't get any help when I was a teenager, and it like seriously affected me. And then I just like started having like stomach problems from it. So I forgot like really what prompted like the purging to like decrease, but it like decreased like gradually. And I was still doing it, but I guess like not as often. And that like kind of happened from there till about like my adult life, even until like now. And then I started being more on the restrictive side. And then when I went away to college, I ended up seeing a therapist there, and like I like told her everything, and she ended up referring me to like these free meetings that were in the city, and I went there. And then that's when I kind of felt like I'm not alone in this. Like I'm not by myself anymore. Like I have some sense of purpose, you know. Um, and also I love music, and it comes like a big like this comes like a big place into this because I ended up dating some guy, and he was my guitar teacher because I just was all ears and like listened to me. And he actually set me up with like a doctor, and then I got like another therapist from there, and then I got like more help from there. So he was like my first main point. It took like I still have struggles here and there, and it still like takes like a little finagling, I guess, to figure out like what works right for me. And I guess like some days are better than others. I'm definitely more on the restrictive side now than I was before. But yeah, that's pretty much how it all started. I did like a few rounds of like intensive outpatient.
Oh, what about the binging now?
What?
Where are you with regards to the binging now?
What about the
binging and the purging?
I mean, it happens. Yeah, it happens like I'd say like every like week, or like sometimes like every 3 to 4 days, depending on like how I feel. But it doesn't happen like 10 to 20 times a day, maybe like every 3 to 4 days, sometimes once, sometimes twice, depending on how I'm feeling. But I am trying to work on it.
Joelle, that's huge. You've gone from so many times a day to, every 2-3 days. That's just amazing how far you have come.
Yeah, I think I was just like scared because I was just feeling like I was just like experiencing like digestive problems, and like I knew that, and like stomach issues, and like I knew when I was like little, I feel like my parents like wouldn't believe me. Like they didn't really, like they still don't, like I guess like their older generation, like I thought like they wouldn't really believe me, and like they wouldn't take me to the doctor, and I wasn't like old enough to go myself. So it's like I didn't know like what to do from there, and like I didn't want like my esophagus to get like so messed up from it or something.
Yeah.
So
do you think that was the turning point for you when you felt so ill physically? Well, what do you think the turning point
yes and
was
no.
for you?
Yes and no, because like I mean I still do it, but I mean I guess so. Like I guess yeah, that was like kind of the turning point, because like I didn't want like something to happen, and then like I thought I was gonna like maybe pass out on the floor and no one was gonna find me or something.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe that's it.
Yeah. Wow. So okay, so let me ask you this question. So what do you wish that you would have known, or you could have known, before the bulimia started?
I wish I would have known that like I had like a support system, and like I had like more friends that were like able to like listen to me, or even like more adults in my life that were like able to listen to me and like not like judge me of like what I'm doing and like how I'm doing it. And I feel like especially my mother, she really affects me, and she even does till this day. I'll like end up using my eating disorder to take things out on myself because of her. And I just would want to like real have learned to like be my own person. So I wish I would have been able to tell my younger self that.
To be your own person.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you?
Like to not let like others define, like others like opinions or like judgments like completely like define you or like affect you. Like, you know, I feel like I'm doing what I want to do like in life, and I'm not hurting anybody else. Like, you know, I feel like I wish like my younger self could hear that. Like my mom's like negative comments like don't mean like absolutely everything. And I kind of felt like that when I was like 12 or 13. So
yeah, that's really interesting. Really interesting.
yeah.
So Joelle, are there any specific resources that you feel have really helped you?
Well, there's this book by Carolyn Costin. She's one of my favorite authors, and she's actually the founder of a treatment center in the US. Um, it's based in California, and they have like other locations across the United States now. It's called Montanito, and she
The
actually
book
wrote this
is
book
called
called the
Montanito.
No, the book is called 8 Keys to Recovery from an Eating Disorder. I really like that book, and it brings you through like her approach on how she actually treats clients, because she's recovered herself now too, and it brings
Yeah.
you like through her experience and how she got through it, and also like how she like treats clients, and also there's like writing exercises in there that you can do, and I just find that like really helpful. And also there's a workbook that goes along with that too that you can purchase
Fabulous.
separately.
So Joel, so tell us the name of the book again and her name.
Her name is Carolyn Costin, and the book is called
Sorry, it's Carolyn Costin.
Yes.
Okay. And what's the name of the book?
The 8 Keys from Recovery from an Eating Disorder.
Oh, fabulous. So that you felt that was a real, what you learned in there really has helped you in your recovery.
Yeah, I really like that book. There's also another book that I really like too, and it explains about this girl's life story, how she like overcame her eating disorder as well, and she basically like helped herself too. It's called Life Without Ed. That's another book that I really love too.
Yeah, that's a great book. Now, who was that book written by?
Jenny Schaefer.
Right, Jenny Schaefer, that's it. Yeah, that's another great book.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I really like her. And I actually met her. I met both of them in person at a point.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
Okay, so let me think now. So what advice would you give to somebody with bulimia and or anorexia?
I would just like honestly, like I would say, like, speak your truths. If you can't get access to like a therapist or like professional help right away, call the crisis lines. They're always a listening ear, no matter what, and like there's no judgments in a way. And also I want to give advice for possible parents out there, because I know my parents and family, like they didn't believe I had an issue, and like they still don't, like they're still in like pure denial. I just want to put out there, like, please listen to your kids. They're not lying when it comes to this thing, and it could be like seriously dangerous, and it could be like a lot more dangerous than you actually expect. So please like be listening ears, and like please support them, like get them to a therapist, get them to like a treatment center. It will like bring you so much joy in the end. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic words, Joelle. Lovely. So what do you feel has been the hardest part of having an eating disorder?
Definitely for me, I would say like definitely going to like family events, and like even going out to like simple things with my family, because I always feel like they have something to say about like what I'm currently doing, or like what I'm wearing, or like how my hair is. I always feel like I'm on edge with that. And like from there, when they say something, I feel like I've done something immediately wrong and I need to take it out on me, and that like I feel like a sense of like worthlessness. So
Yeah. And so what does the future hold for you?
I mean, I still struggle. I feel like every day is like a new day, and I try to take one day at a time, and some days are better than others. I still want to try to find like the right treatment center for me. Um it's just like logistical things are a little bit hard. And in terms of other things, I have a fiance. His name is Jacob. I actually told him I was doing this podcast today. So he says hello and he wants to give his shout out.
Oh, fabulous. And when are you planning to get married?
I don't know yet. I think we want to do like some logistical things first. We want to definitely like move in together and get a house first, and then go from there. And also like with COVID going on right now, it's a little bit
Mm.
hard, like
Yeah.
harder, I guess you could say. So yeah, I guess like we're just like kind of like seeing how things play out right now and like playing it like little by little.
Yeah. And he's obviously very supportive.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Joelle, is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners about your eating disorder?
Um, I mean, like honestly, like I would just say, like, every day is like a new day, and like take one day at a time. Like, if you're struggling, like know the people that you can go to and like let them be there for you. I mean, I have like certain friends, and like especially like my fiance, he's like, they're like the main people that I go to. So I mean, I would just say like establish those people and call the crisis hotline if you need it. And like I guess like in terms of other things, I would say like if you have a meal plan prescribed to you by a dietitian or like even a therapist, I would definitely say stick to that, because those really help, especially when on the days that like you're super super struggling. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, well, Joelle, thank you so much for joining us here today. And,
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
yeah, thank you. And it's going to be such a help for people to listen to your experience and learn and understand that there is, even from where you were to where you are now,
Mhm.
is incredible. And people
Yeah.
can move forward, and they can get over their eating disorder. Because I
Yeah.
remember when I had bulimia and anorexia, I just thought I was going mad. I didn't understand that, that there was that I could actually ever get out of this.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
feel that the behaviors are so sort of embedded within you, it's difficult to be able to
Right.
see your way out. But by breaking down that the big picture in your mind of all the confusion and starting to unravel it, you can then begin to sort of slowly step your way very gradually forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, Joelle, thank you so much for joining us. And it was lovely to
Yeah, of
meet
course.
you and hear your story. And it's just amazing. It's amazing how far you've
Yeah.
come. Yeah. Okay, so that's all for today's episode of Bulimia Sucks. So thanks for listening, and thank you for joining both of us here today. And we look forward for you to join us in the next episode. But make sure you subscribe to the podcast on iTunes so you never miss an episode. And plus, if you haven't already heard it, check out my book, Bulimia Sucks, which is on Amazon. And the workbook will be coming out in the next couple of months. It's with the formatters right now. So thanks for listening to this channel. And we look forward to catching up again soon.
Cool beans.
Yeah. Thanks, Joel.
Yeah, no worries. Bye.
Oh.